buckaroos. Hey, you're not going to believe this, but I am Tom the Beerless, and I am at Bike Rack Brewing. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Joe Zuka. I'm the head brewer here at Bike Rack.
I was coming by, and Joe invited me over, and you're brewing the IPA right now.
Oh yeah, we're in an IPA doing a double batch. 3.5 barrels. Brewing away, yeah.
You want to talk about the ingredients that's in this particular IPA?
Well, yeah, this is a session IPA, so it's a lighter IPA, about 5% ABV. We use Citra, a lot of Cascade, Citra in it. Yeah, it's a darn good IPA.
All right. Yeah. Well, he invited me back while he was getting ready to put some hops in, so I came back, and the smell here is just intoxicating. So I'm going to actually take a break here, but I'm going to talk more with Joe. I keep forgetting your name for some reason. My mind isn't working. But I've got a couple beer samples I want to get on camera here, so I'm going to let Joe finish what he's doing, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got a couple samples here from Joe at Bike Rack. I've got their beer to guard here. Actually, I'm going to do this one first, because I also have a double IPA, so I'm not going to taste that beer to guard if I drink the double first. He was walking me through some of the stuff he's doing back there. It is incredible. I was smelling some hops. Oh my goodness. The beer to guard brewed with Belgian candy sugar and Amarillo hops, slight spice and sweetness. Joe's trying to eat, so I don't want to bother him too much, but Joe, is there anything specific you'd like to say about the beer to guard?
Oh yeah, I love that yeast. It's a French Saison yeast. So, in that Belgian region, if you get a Belgian Saison, it's got more of a peppery finish to it. Mm-hmm. And the beer de garde, or this actually French Saison, it's got more of a fruity finish. Fruity peppery. Okay. You can tell the similarities in them when you can tell they're from the same similar region, but there's slight differences in them that they're just. I personally like the fruity finish versus peppery, but and this one here is. Yeah, we put Belgian candy in it, Amarillo hops.
It's 6%, 25 IBUs.
Right. Not much on hops, but actually more of just a hop stand versus any bittering hops. So it's more. I wanted to get the more aroma.
More the aroma out of there you go. Which is typical in the style.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, getting that.
So on the double IPA, it's 8.285. You use Galaxy, Cascade, and Columbus. Anything you'd like to say about that beer particularly?
Yeah, it's it's definitely. It's probably. I need to change that to 8.5%. It's closer to 8.5 than 8.2. And
close enough.
Yeah, Galaxy's its own animal. It is.
Yeah.
Very tropical. I mean, if you have ours, let me see. Let me get your. So we've got an IPA that's more Citra and Cascade, and then this double IPA that's more Galaxy and Columbus, Cascade. But that Galaxy, it's so different. Most New Zealand and Australian hops are just really different.
They are, yeah.
Yeah, they're. Can't really say much else about them. They're just okay. You just got to taste them.
All right, I'm going to do that now. Well, thanks, Joe. I'll let you get back to your lunch. Sorry about taking you away from it. Hey, I'm going to try this beer to guard first. Yeah, I got you. That's the regular.
That's IPA, yeah, the session.
The nose is very fruity on the beer to guard, which. Oh gosh! Wow.
I like most Belgian beers, the Belgian flavor powers through.
Yeah, it does. Wow, that's beautiful. 6%, 25. Wow. Yeah, there's just enough hops there at the end to kind of clean her up. But that's amazingly drinkable. I mean, that's something you can just power through. I wouldn't even notice that was 6%, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's something you could really drink a lot of. That'd be a great picnic or barbecue beer. That just would go with everything. That'd be great with some pork. If you're doing kebabs, you're doing pork and pineapple. Oh. That would be a beautiful beer with that. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to make that beer.
Oh, gosh.
Overtime beer. Kind of like when the wit beer came over, I think quite a few years ago now, when Hugard brought that that was different. That was really different. Now that's a tame beer compared to these Belgian farmhouses, So, yeah, I think just bringing more of these Belgian beers and giving them to popular society and saying like, yeah, these are approachable beers now. Now, They are.
Personally, if we're talking styles, I prefer the Beer de Garde to a Belgian wit. I'm just not a fan of the style. I mean, I can appreciate them. I know what they're trying to do, but for me, I'm just not something I want to drink a lot of. No. But I like this Beer de Garde. That's beautiful. I mean, it's deceiving, though. It almost feels 4.5. You know what I mean? It just feels light. It's just easy to drink as something you could really drink a lot of.
And the Belgian candy gives it. I tasted it with the Belgian candy and without. With the Belgian candy and without the Belgian candy, and that flavor of the yeast powers through no matter what. But the Belgian candy gives it a little, I don't know, just a little. If you taste Belgian candy right out of the carton, it's different. It gives a little something that you can't get any other way.
Nice. Well, I'm going to stop videoing for a second because he poured me a second beer, so I'm going to take a picture of it before I move on. Well, how do you do, buckaroos? I came back here. I was going to try that Beer de Garde and their Imperial IPA, but he poured me this Session IPA, which is 5%, 60 IBUs. It uses Citra, Amarillo, and Cascade, but it's slightly different from their double, which uses Galaxy, Cascade, and Columbus. Oh, wow. I can already tell, doing a little commentary here, I can tell what they're really good at is bringing out the best aromas in a beer, because everything I've had is just aromatically just incredibly pleasing. Oh, so I can tell you put a lot of work in just bringing the aromas out.
Oh, we do. We really go, and the owners of this establishment, Bike Rack, they have me buy some of the top hops that, Citra's not cheap. Citra's not cheap.
No, Citra's not. And I think, I personally, like I told you earlier, I'm a big fan of Amarillo. I think it's an underrated hop.
Not cheap either.
I'm getting a lot of citrus on the nose, as you might expect.
Yeah.
I'm also getting some slight peppery notes, actually.
Columbus will do that.
Oh, that is brilliantly crisp. Yeah. That finish, you got the effervescence you got in here, the carbonation is just perfect because it's very tight.
Yeah, I'll show you what we do when you get a minute. When you go back, I'll show you what we do to capture that effervescence.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful the way you got that. It's very light though, but it's just enough to crisp it up right in the finish. This is a nice, wow. Some people might quibble that 5% isn't session strength, but this beer is just beautiful. Wherever you happen to draw the line.
Yeah. I guess it's whatever you consider a session. I know some sessions are lower ABV, but.
You working tonight?
All right. Well, I'm going to be drinking the their double IPA. 8.2, he says, might be closer to 8.5. 85 IBUs. Again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Galaxy, Cascade, and Columbus. Again, I'm going to say this again with everything I've had from them. I mean, the aromas are just spectacular. I can't even describe how wonderful the aromas are. I could tell that they put a lot of time in trying to make the beers not just taste good, but be aromatically pleasing as well. And that, for a craft beer guy, that's just as important. The aromas really mean just as much as everything else.
Yeah, you got to get that effervescence right, the carbonation, because carbonation can lend to the aroma. When you get that CO2 bubbling up and you pour it, will release aroma.
Well, I'm certainly feeling those tropical fruit notes, I'll tell you that. I'm getting some of that mango for sure. I'm also feeling a lot of orange though.
Let me get that from Cascade. I get citrus from Cascade.
There's some pineapple in there.
No. Oh, okay. No, just get my backpack out of the way.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I gotta say though, I mean, like everything else I've had here, however you do it, you hide the ABV incredibly well. That doesn't feel like an 8.5% beer. That's not boozy whatsoever. I'm not feeling that 8 at all.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredibly smooth. Yeah. Well, you know, unfortunately, I could session this.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really easy to drink. Wow.
We were joking about.
You got a Kevin keeping that shot.
I already got it. Thanks. Yeah, we were joking about that the other day about making a session double IPA.
Session double, yeah. Wow.
Something around 7.5%. Calling it a session double.
Seven. Wow. Gosh, that is good. I gotta tell you, have you guys entered any of these in, you know,
We did go
Great
to-
American Beer Fest or any of that kind of thing?
Went to the Great American Beer Festival. What beer? Got hanging on the wall. An amber, the stout, the fast IPA, and the beer to garden. But I mean, nothing metal.
Well, I think you got some bad judges, man. I gotta tell you, I mean, in my opinion, this double IPA is world class. It is one of my personal favorites, and I'm gonna have to have a full glass to really wrap my taste buds around it. But
Really
wow.
tried. I went out and had that.
Well, no, seriously, the flavors on this are gorgeous. I mean, you're going to get some grapefruit, the tropical fruit as well. I mean, you certainly get some mango. I'm getting some pineapple. I'm personally feeling a lot of orange zest going on. But again, like the Session IPA, what's really beautiful about it is the finish. The effervescence is so light and crisp. It's almost like a champagne-like finish. It just dries it up completely. It's just the finish is just absolutely exquisite on this. Wow. I'm gonna finish this and let that poor Joe finish his lunch.
I do this about all the time.
And I'm back. Did you miss me? So I poured another one for me. The Urban Trail Golden 5%. He's not listing the IBUs. Light body, crisp, weedy. He says uses about 30% wheat,
20-30, yeah.
25 to 30% wheat mash on it. He was talking about the methods he used to keep it clean and keep it crisp without any off flavors. How it's harder in a lighter beer like this as opposed to, say, something like this stout here I've got.
Good light beers are underrated.
You really can feel that wheat on the nose, can't you?
Yeah.
It's also a little bready, yeah? A little bready on the nose.
Oh, okay. You know, pasta? It's real simple.
Yeah, you feel that malt. But yeah, wow, just like the others, it's just that finish just kills me. The way you clean it up right at the end, and it just draws to a conclusion. And you're just killing me on these finishes here. I think a lot of people underestimate how you can lose somebody if it doesn't close right. You can have all the aromas, you can have the flavor you want, but if it doesn't finish right, you lose your audience. And this one is just, I mean, all of them, that's what you got going here is that, man, your finish is just gorgeous.
Carbonation is really underrated. It's really hard to do. And we spend a lot of time.
I think a lot of folks with a beer like this try to over-carbonate it. Where it becomes like Budweiser. You got that crazy over-carbonation going on. But I mean, what you have here is just it's light, it's crisp, it's so easy drinking. It is a beer. I mean, you could bring a beer like this. I mean, this is a perfect barbecue or picnic beer that I would mention. I mean, I think it's a beer like this that you could fool. Yeah, you could fool your macro drinking friends if you showed up with a growler or 2 or 6 of this and just poured them and don't tell them what it is. The flavor isn't going to overwhelm them, but they're going to notice how crisp and clean it is rather than how lazy and sweet their macro is finished. Wow, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is you have to have it. We still are in Budweiser country. But
I am getting some slight fruity notes in there, but yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a light beer to bring the
You
audience.
do, yeah. But I bet a lot of folks that try that just love it though. Even folks that do happen to be, Bud Miller Coors drinkers. That beer is fabulous. Okay, now I'm gonna go straight. I was gonna stop. I'm just gonna go straight into the stout now. 6.5%, 45 IBUs, roasted malt, obviously with slight chocolate notes. You do feel that roasted barley right away, which is giving me some coffee-like aromas. I'm certainly feeling some dark chocolate, like a 70% dark chocolate going on. Okay, they call this an American stout, 6.5, 45. It is certainly, statistically, it's bigger than a dry stout. Statistically, it's close in line to an FES, but smaller than a lot. It sort of falls sort of in the middle between a dry and an FES.
It does.
But man, you're killing me here. Again, what you got going on here is the finish on this, where a lot of stouts still have a lot of lingering sweetness. This does not. You do not have that lingering sweetness on
Yeah,
it.
no, it's got to be our carbonation.
It finishes much drier than most American stouts, and most that you're able to buy, most crafts that you're able to buy readily, still have a lot of that lingering sweetness. This is beautiful, I gotta tell you. Well, I was sampling 2 that turned into 5. But yeah, oh wow, I gotta tell you, everything I've had here has been absolutely gorgeous. I want to thank Joe and Bike Rack Brewing Company for inviting me to have a sampling here. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Wow, I'm gonna leave on a wow. Yeah, everything's beautiful. For my particular taste, I gotta tell you, the golden, the session, the double, the American stout. Typically, I drink seasonal. I don't drink a lot of stouts this time of year, but this is a stout I would drink a lot of come the fall and winter. The golden, again, it's not a style I drink a lot of, but it would be a beer I would certainly want to come and start with. Most craft beer drinkers, I think, are like me. We don't drink one beer all night long. Most of us want to drink, 4 different. If we're having 4 pints, we have 4 different beers. So if I was having 4 pints here, that would be the beer I'd start with. I'd probably move to the session, then the double, and I'd finish off with the stout because, by golly, that is a fireplace beer if I ever had one. So I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. We'll talk to you later. Wow. Okay, so I'm still at Bike Rack. I'm going to have 1 pint. I sampled 3, 4, 5. I sampled everything but the amber, but I've had their amber before. So I wanted to sit and have a pint. And the beer I really wanted to sit and decipher was a double IPA. They have it listed as 8.2, 85, but he says probably closer to 8.5.
Show me just kind of like this process.
But sometimes it's really hard to get aromas from those small tasting glasses, you know what I mean? Here we're working with a pint glass. I'm kind of surprised we're not pouring it into a tulip or a snifter. But I'm not one of those folks that think the pint glasses anymore. I think of those folks that do are being more pretentious than accurate. I'm actually feeling more the peppery notes from this pint glass than I was the small glass. But you are feeling all of those. You are feeling all of those tropical fruit notes. A whole lot of mango. There's certainly some pineapple in there. You're probably going to get some others in there. There's a bit of pineapple. I think it's that pineapple. Mango, pineapple.
Natural charisma too.
I'm feeling a lot of orange. I know I noticed that earlier. So anyway, I'm going to sit and drink this a little bit. I'm going to be back.